This is Brand Builders. We've been actively working in D2C land for years and are continuing to be in the trenches daily. I'm Matt Lady, one of the co-hosts. Each week I have an episode with Tom Brown and an episode with Richie Mashiko. Sometimes we'll have one together. We are here to share our unfiltered, candid, casual perspectives, insights, lessons, experiences on building a D2C brand. We text about this stuff all the time and are super nerds about all things e-commerce, and we just want to share this with you and hope you get something from it. Enjoy the show. All right, we're back at it again after a week off. Richie had to bail on me last week for a nonprofit event, so it's somewhat warranted, but we're back at it again. Today we're going to talk about 2023 planning. Matt, isn't Black Friday coming up? Yes, you're right. But Stumptown, where I work, we don't do Black Friday. We don't discount. There's no sale. So we're planning ahead. This is my 6th or 7th week on the job. I'd rather plan ahead for the next 13, 14 months coming up rather than something 2 weeks from now that really isn't going to move the needle long term. We don't have an offer. There's no sale. We're on to annual planning. Richie, what do you have? You've done annual planning before. Before we get into it, where do you think is like, and you know me, right? You know I like to overthink everything and overcomplicate everything. Where do you think, what would you tell me, what's your one piece of advice before we get into this?
Annual planning, that's a good question. I made annual plans and they've been messed up. But hey, we live and learn. I think annual planning gets easier over time, obviously. I think you're going to be better at it than I was, though, because you've actually been doing this for longer. You know, when I did the first annual plan for Birdie in end of 2020, I was like 6 months of selling shit on the internet, okay? You've been doing it for a lot longer than 6 months on the internet. So I think you're going to be a lot better at it. I think the thing is there's kind of two approaches, right? You know, some people go deep in something and then they venture out and then they conquer the city, they put the governor in place, and then they go to the next city. Or you could try to just do everything, but yeah, I think it's finding the balance of stretching yourself too thin and focusing. You know, that's the balance that you gotta have.
Yeah, and that's especially relevant for me. I like to do, and I need to do a bunch of stuff all at once. I can't just do one thing at a time, so that will be a tough thing for me to balance. But I actually have, this job now and a single focus for most days. So and a longer term point of view and time and patience and respect and understanding and buy-in from my boss, and it's no longer a client freelancer situation. So I think the approach is much different than it was before. So all that being said, we're going to kind of go through high level in different parts. I kind of put together version 1 of this annual plan, and we're going to talk about different stuff from it and how I approached it, what you think about it, what you would adjust, or etc. So before we get into the numbers and priorities and goals, it is going to be me. I have a Google Ads freelancer and a small marketing budget each month. That's my constraints. I don't really have much else outside of that as of right now. Anything I want to hire for or tap into, I have to do it, or I have to increase revenue and profit to be able to budget for it in the future. So this is pretty, there's lots of constraints that I, in my own projects or in the past with other clients, am not really used to. So this is new to me. So we have a few different targets.
You're not just leaving stuff out randomly. There's a reason.
Yes. I just yeah. And the brand is not super big. This is not any major D2C brand that you've heard of. No one's heard of Stumptown Mattress. I didn't know about it until they literally told me about it. It's a small local brand up in Portland, Oregon. They've been selling in a retail store for 10 years. And then Stumptown, the brand, launched from that store 6 years ago. So our team is unique. We have real retail experience. We have an actual retail location in terms of in-store traffic, and it's part of a mattress lot. So it's not just a D2C Shopify store. We have a retail component as well, and we kind of both Mattress Lot and Stumptown benefits from in-store visitors. Or if they see the ads online, then a lot of people that go in the store mention, "Hey, I saw the Stumptown. Like, can you show me that?" So we got a little bit different play here than the typical only selling online brand. So all that being said, here's the goals for 2023. The online revenue goal. Show me the money. The first goal, the ideal goal, is $1 million in gross revenue from just D2C. So that's no in-store sales. The next goal up would be like really good, would be like outstanding, would be 1.5 million. And then over the moon, ecstatic, like really awesome stuff would be 2 million. And so those are our low, medium, high goals.
And can you give context into like what you're currently doing? Or
yeah, so kind of. So COVID year, like last year, 2021, saw a spike like most people, and they did about 1.3. So this year, 2022, is actually much lower than that. So we're working our way back up to that after that spike and come down like most brands. So we're hovering 3/4 of the way to $1 million for 2022, and during my first 6 weeks, we're doing better than we were before. So
hey, it's because you're amazing.
It's absolutely incredible. So we have that's the context of where we've been, where we're going. So then we break that down, right? We have market, like that's the gross. Why am I? Is that? I guess that makes sense. Yeah. So our average gross margin, we don't discount ever. We don't have any sales. We're an independent mattress company. We have no one else to like call to. Our average gross margin is around 51% across the mattresses.
51%. Okay.
So, in theory, we would have about 200 grand in marketing / advertising expenses.
Are you including labor, like contract labor, that type of thing, or are you just including ad spend?
Yeah, in that bucket, if you're looking at the slide on slide 3, it's all grouped together. In slide 4, it's split out, but it's labor's included in that.
Got it.
So, like, if you don't include labor, it's a 5x blended ROAS, like MER target, essentially. And then if you do include labor, then it goes up to like 6.1. And this is all estimated. This is like, if this is not including the brand new Shopify site that will be live within 2 weeks from now.
That'll be an expense for this year.
That'll be an expense already. Yep. But I'm guessing we will see some efficiency and some improvement across performance across the site in terms of traffic, like lower bounce rate, higher conversion, more add to carts, more abandoned cart, like more checkouts, and now we actually will be able to do email. We haven't done any email marketing up until this point, so I think that's something to just note. So just looking at that, the ad spend would be about 13 to 15K a month to get that 5 to 6x return each month. Obviously, it's like not each month is going to be that static. It's not that straightforward. There's going to be high months and low months, and typically January ends up being a bigger month for mattresses for whatever reason. Uh, don't know why yet, but so there'll be some different things like that. So I'll be handling Facebook ads management. I can handle like 10 grand a month for a single brand. I used to do that for 6 clients at least, and usually higher amounts even. So I can do that. I would want to spend some of that marketing expense on additional assets. So photo, new videos, then getting just the raw assets produced, edited, created, turned into ads every couple months, kind of get new refresh, some new iterations of the ads. We've been running the same ones that I took over for a few months now, and it still works. But so I don't think with the spend we're at, I'll need a ton of creative. I don't need 20 new pieces every month, like by any means. But that's something that I will foresee.
You got to, bro. That's what the Twitter homies say, right?
That's what the gurus say. Yeah. So
gotta be 20 stills, 10 videos, and 5 gifs or something like that.
that makes me just like that's just spraying and praying. Like that's not actually like testing and being methodical, and you're just saying that's the way to do it because you're a creative agency and you want to sell your services.
Now I get it. That's kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
It all makes sense now. So I'm thinking about it that way. I want some expenses would be from creative, new visuals, just even for the website. Mm-hmm. And then the third expense that I would use, new expense for contract freelance help in 2023, would be a freelancer contractor situation for an audit or ongoing consulting. I can get the basic Klaviyo flows set up. I can send a weekly email campaign, and we'll get enough traction there and be able to have an additional channel and build that up. But every so often, whether it's once a month, once a quarter, if it's ongoing, just a check-in call, or if it's a every 6 months audit, that's kind of what I'm thinking of, hey, let's get some data, let's get some list growth, we have more time on the new site. Okay, let's think through this. Maybe let's elevate the design some more. Let's change this email flow, change these settings or whatever. Those are like the 3 new expenses I would consider priorities for me for marketing in 2023 based on my constraints, my goals, and my current skills. Is there anything I'm obviously missing, or you think that I should add or should consider so far?
Is the tech stack included in this? Like, how are they?
Yeah.
How are you thinking of Klaviyo is going to cost, or if you do SMS like PostScript or Attentive or Klaviyo, or you know what I mean? How are you thinking about that?
That is a good question. It's interesting, and it probably would end up being in this bucket. So that's something to consider, but it won't be that much. Our list is pretty small to start out, so it'll only be like $100-200 a month as we get moving. But all the Shopify apps, the other services and tools, it adds up. I don't know, since we also have the retail store, and that'll also be Shopify included. So I don't know if that's going to be under our bucket or like a shared bucket or how that works. So that is something to keep in mind of like where those dollars are being allocated. And so that's good to keep in mind. And then I'll mention the last expense that's not me in my salary is a Google Ads freelancer, Sam, who started beginning of October, so a month ago. And he restructured the whole ad account, fixed all their past agencies' crap, actually have a branded and non-branded campaign, actually driving new net customers, and has increased the revenue from a 3.3 to like 4.8 within the first month. So we're off to a good start on Google too. So that's, and his fee is going to be pretty much static per month until we start scaling aggressively, which may not happen until end of 2023 or even 2024.
Right.
So it's pretty solid, pretty affordable. I talk with him every other week on a call, and we email in between. So that's like the high level overview, right? Like,
I'm looking at the net profit goals.
Yeah.
Is that after OpEx or before OpEx?
That's at the in-store employees aren't Stumptown employees. They're the Mattress Lot employees. So all the ordering and fulfillment and shipping isn't under our brand, I believe.
Oh,
so like the only that it's only my OpEx, and that is not included in the marketing spend, but that would be something to consider. So
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So it's weird.
What did Bronner always say? Bronner and Foxwell, like 2 channels, ads at
Two channels,
or in your case 3 channels, Facebook, Google, and email. To get to 1 million, I mean, I think you should be able to do that. I think you'll probably, in my opinion, get closer to the $2 million mark. And I think the thing that you're gonna have to think about or talk to your boss about is just consistently making sure you're calibrated on goals and you're aligned on that. A lot of times it's hard, depending on like the month, just things happen. You might feel a certain type of way, or when things are looking good, it feels like the world is ending and you got to change your goals. But you just got to know, like, hey, it's just natural cycles, and you just got to get through it. There might be a temptation. Hey, if there is a world, I don't know what the likelihood is, but there's a world where you start running paid ads, and things just start popping off. I mean, look what you did just with Sam. You raised from you said a 3.3 to 4.8 or something like that.
Yeah,
and that's like a full a point and a half of like that's huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have a feeling, having talked to you about this a little bit, that the goal of the business is not necessarily to drive top line growth at all costs. It's about being profitable. So having that in mind, I think you could definitely do this kind of with what you planned out. Get your ad set up. Make sure the website's good enough. Just run some ads, collect some email addresses, just send some emails. Drive a little bit more traffic to the site that converts a little bit better, and you should be able to do this.
Hey there, just wanted to take a second and tell you about my other show, Ecommerce Uncovered. Twice a week, I have guest experts, enthusiasts, and operators on to share me something about their expertise and their knowledge about e-commerce, building a D2C brand. We've had episodes on with financial experts, operations, marketing, acquisition, retention, customer experience, wide variety of things. That's twice a week. I'm the host. I ask them questions. They share awesome answers and insights and lessons and stories. That's Ecommerce Uncovered, wherever you find your podcasts. And it's on the High Key Geek YouTube. That's Ecommerce Uncovered. Go ahead and check it out. That's it. It's that simple. That's it. Cut
Absolutely
the
incredible.
absolutely incredible. Just cut the episode right there. That's it. That's all. No, no. Please don't cut the episode, Mr. Silo. Please, my editor. We're still going. Just a joke. Okay, so as I mentioned, email is going to be like the new channel for us in 2023. Klaviyo, gonna do basic flows, really focus on why Stumptown is different mattress in a box than all the other mattress in a box brands because we have 10 years of retail experience before. We are local to Portland. You could come in and try it out, and you can pick up a phone and call us, and we'll help you and answer all of your questions and help you find the right mattress. So there's a few differentiators like that. We never sell, we never have sales, we never do discounts. The price is the same fair price year round, right? So that's what I'm trying to focus on in the email. Unless, yes, there'll be some like product specific differences, like this mattress versus that mattress, what type of sleeper you are, what if you're having a like this certain pain. There might be some of that, and that'll be a focus. But I think that's how we can like differentiate ourselves instead of just
Are you
going
gonna
deep into. Go
Are
ahead.
you gonna do those quizzes?
That is something I've considered, and not doing a quiz is a great idea. It's something we've thought of and want to do. It's finding the right tool that doesn't cost $500 a
50K,
month to get started. Yeah,
50K for
yeah,
that idea.
yeah. 50K for that idea. Yeah, that's a big money idea. It's no, it's good. It's a great idea. It's one that we've thought of. It's just finding the right tool that won't charge us too much in the beginning because our volume of traffic
Right.
and orders is so low, but our revenue is going to be high. So those apps are like Shopify apps will just like try to take all your money just because of your
Oh,
revenue. Yeah. So got to be careful of that. That's a great idea because like the original versus the hybrid versus the peak, which are current models of mattresses, pretty clear differences. They're better for different people. So that the quiz is a good idea. But email, the goal is to get like 5 to 10% of revenue from email next year.
not 20? Just
Not
kidding.
20, Richie. Not 20. Because you know why? Because mattresses have a 7 to 10 year lifetime.
But
You
you're
don't just
failing if
buy
you
it.
don't get 20. What are you
You're
doing?
absolutely failure. I'm just gonna
You should get
just
fired.
just fire me. Uh, Not 20%. I'm leaving money on the table. So no, but yeah, we're just making fun of the Twitter gurus. So yeah, not just 7 to 10 years. Average buying cycle.
Oh,
Obviously, if you move or if it breaks or like something happens, you buy sooner. But
so when you talk about email, are you like obviously like you're gonna build out flows, right? Like welcome flow, I'm assuming, like abandonment flows, whether it's the cart, checkout, and maybe browse. I don't know how browse really works. I feel like this is the thing. I feel like when and maybe I have a really biased take when because we're basically a single product brand. Um, that most of the revenue derived from like emails comes from like campaigns and like one flow. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a power law type thing where like yeah you
yeah,
should have like checkout abandonment and cart abandonment or whatever and maybe that's like 5% of the total email revenue or whatever. But that's that's one thing I've kind of been thinking about recently is like you know um if you just do the fundamentals right, I think this is a pretty good example. If you just do the fundamentals correctly, you should be able to hit you know your goals, right? Like these goals are very realistic to hit. I think sometimes um people come in and overthink it, but it's like No, you just need to do like the basics, like all this like CRO stuff. The most important thing on your website is the offer, right? The product and the price. That has
Yep.
the most effect of the CRO, and of course, you don't want your website to be so ass that you can't find the damn checkout button. Okay, you want to be like playing hide and go seek with the damn checkout button. Okay, but as long as it's easy to use and you have a good product and you're a good product and the offer's there, you don't want your website to be acting like a fool. Um,
Yeah.
uh, that the simple shit works, man. The basic shit works.
Ready or not, here I come. Like, go
Yeah,
hide and
man.
seek. Like, come
Take my credit
find the
card
checkout.
information.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. No, I think you're right. I think in this
Ads,
case,
yeah, and ads too.
ads
Like you don't need, like you said, you don't need 20 new pieces of ad content each week. Try some
not a
stills, try some videos, see what works. Just go with that.
dude. I ended up picking Stumptown out of all the different opportunities. Like as you were in on the behind the scenes process more than anyone else. Uh, the product, the price is like, oh, we're at this much a year in revenue, but we have this website, these ads, no email. Like I can help with all
Mhm.
that stuff. I can't make a better mattress. I can't
Right.
like have a retail presence and have local traffic too. You know the so those fundamentals I know and can help with. So Facebook, Google, email. So email, if we get 5 to 10% of revenue, which is depending on which goal we're going for, is 50K to 100K of revenue a year. And so that's like, that could be 50 mattresses. So that's like four
So if you
mattresses a
send
month
out a
from email.
campaign, if
Yeah.
you send a campaign a week, you literally need to sell one mattress a week from email. That's what it
If
kind of
you,
comes to.
it essentially, if you get the peak and get the bigger size, if you get one of the other models at a smaller size, then I'll need two. But generally speaking, yes.
But if you send two email campaigns a week, you just need one email campaign, one mattress per email. So
Yeah. So yeah, no, but so there's that, and it's I think that again the flows plus those basic campaigns, um, I think that will help. Like if we break it down like that, 50 mattresses over the year, like that's one a week from email, uh, as a starting goal. So if we can get more than that, that's awesome. And that's like with very basic setup. Like I'm not an email expert, but then I don't have to pay one either. So there's
right,
not an additional cost there. So
and you can probably
that's
get 80% of the way there. You get most of it.
yeah, between all the content and courses and communities I've been part of, like I know the basics and I can set aside enough time to do some decent mediocre design, get some pretty decent copy, and then just like stay consistent with it. So um,
So okay, I'm
that's
looking at this section. Small things, maybe big outcomes. Let's talk
yeah.
about that.
Okay.
So what are
Uh,
these things?
so okay, we'll go to here and then we'll go back. Um, so small things, maybe big outcomes, is a few super low hanging fruit, either whether it's low cost of money, time, or effort, that
Hmm.
could potentially have a 10x result. So
Yeah.
it's either easy, it's simple, or it's really low maintenance. So there a few I've identified a few different things, and one of them is Bonjoro video messages. Bonjoro is a tool that have a Shopify app integration. You can just record a video and send it to a customer after they buy. And we only get a few orders a day, so 5 minutes a day to send a personalized video message to each new customer could end up having a massive outcome on the long tail.
Hmm.
Either, oh, thank you so much, and then they feel welcome, they feel understood, they're looking forward to getting the mattress. There might be a slight decrease in returns, there might be a slight uptick in customer reviews, They might post about us on social more. So those are all sort of things we're looking for with a video message like that, a personalized video message, a couple minutes a day. Um, could end up having long customer loyalty and those like side effects that I mentioned. Um, and even like mentioning returning and returns and refunds, like the 100-night guarantee, 10-year warranty, just recommunicating that might be really helpful. So, and the app is like $30 a month, and then 5 minutes of my time a day. Or even the retail team can also do it too, so we can have different team members kind of get involved. So that's the first one. It's low effort, potentially high return. And it makes a lot of sense for us because of the low volume of orders. If you're selling 100 things a day, 100 orders a day, that might be a lot. So we're not going to get there anytime soon. So I think this is something that could be really cool, and that keeps the local customer service feeling of the Mattress Lot retail store. Oh, I'm trying to bring that online, and really like all over our new website on Shopify. Call us, contact us. Like you'll talk to a real human in the store.
Right.
Like we'll help you. So that's another way of humanizing the interaction and the transaction instead of just another mattress in a box brand that you just bought because you saw an ad for $400 off plus 2 free pillows and a set of sheets that every brand runs that offer. So that's the first one. Bonjoro. They have a great team over there too. Next one is Slippy.io. I summarize this as essentially Klaviyo, but for packing inserts. You can personalize the name, the product, the order, info on the packing insert, and it gets printed out, and you can just add it into the box. So it's another additional personalized touch point. It's not the generic basic UPS label that it's like white and black printed out that's like every single brand uses. You can add in a little bit more info about give it 24 to 48 hours for the mattress to fully firm up, because how we have to mash it into the box a certain way. People might overreact to the first night of oh, this doesn't feel right, or this doesn't feel good. So just another reminder, hey, remember, give it give it 2 days to firm up, and then really we say give it 3 weeks before you want to return. So it's literally free for up to 100 orders a month, and then it's really cheap after that. So again, with our average order value being over $700, I think we can afford free or $1 per thing. I don't think that's a big margin eater, and it might be a little extra touch point there.
I like it. I might need to do that.
So a couple more here is this social listing tool called notifier.so. It's essentially you can put in keywords or your brand name, and they look across all social platforms and things like Reddit even, and they will alert you as soon as that keyword or your brand name is mentioned. And so we found a thread a little while ago about someone posting in the Portland subreddit of Stumptown mattresses, and 15 different people commented about it and weighed in, and mostly good things were said. But that's an opportunity for us to react, or at least be aware of or analyze. And we can be involved. I can't go in and offer 10% off really, because we don't do that. But we can just show up, be hey, give us a call or email us. We'll get back more questions, right? Rather than, just being annoying. Right. So that's kind of just one thing, and that we can use it across socials. We don't have a dedicated customer service team. It's just the retail employees or me. So a tool like that might be helpful. It's $20 or $30 a month. So just try to figure those things out. Post Pilot is direct mail for Klaviyo. there's a bunch of ways we could use this, whether it's new products that we come out with, or if it's after their like 100-night guarantee, and they didn't return it, then we like, and if they didn't leave a review yet, we can send them a postcard to prompt them to leave a customer review on the website. We could use it to upsell them a pillow or sheet, set of sheets, or cleaner, or mattress protector, or bed frame, right? So literally upselling more too. So kind of a few different ways to go about it there. And again, direct mail, very, very affordable, especially compared to our high AOV. So that's post-pilot. The last one is just customer heat maps, tracking, recording stuff like Hotjar, Clarity, Lucky Orange. There's a bunch of different ones. Especially now we're switching over to the new Shopify site soon. It's just like making sure that everything is working. There's no obvious like, oh, people get to this point and leave. Let me check if like everything up until that point is like working as intended, or is loading as intended, or reads properly on mobile versus desktop, right? So it's just something simple like that. Some of these are free, some of them are cheap. So there's a few like small things, but maybe big outcomes for us to like make the most of our small team and limited resources, to have potentially big outcomes, or to be able to give us more information or more touch points with our customers. Any comments or thoughts, or anything you guys have done in the past or have been thinking about? Anything like this?
You're good at finding all these little tools, man. Like you just have like a list. It's like, you're like one of those guys with the fucking suit, and you open this shit. Like, oh, you need this? Oh, I got you, fam. I got you. And I'm just like always like, what the hell?
No, that's true. That's true. I'm always just like, yeah, no, wait. I found it like just the other day about a mini social, like, right? Like the 25 different creators.
Like, where the hell do you find all this shit, man?
You can get 25 different creators creating content for your brand. It starts at $2,000. Like, that's so much raw assets, and you get the usage rights for. You can edit, cut them up. You can, Anyway, way too much time on the internet is the short answer.
Yeah. I spend my time on the internet doing other things. Like watching basketball games.
Yes, like watching basketball games.
Highlights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love basketball. Yeah. Putting the ball in the hoop. Let's go, baby.
The Warriors are great, except they're sucking this year. But, oh well.
What I'm trying to think of the small. I don't know. Maybe I'm being lazy, but I feel like all the small shit that we try, like, I'm just like, spend more money on ads.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense.
No, actually, I think we kind of skipped over a pretty big section that maybe parlays into it. I feel like I don't even try the small shit. It's like more channels, baby.
More channels, baby? Yeah.
So let's talk about what you want to do there.
Yeah, there we go. So, thank you for that lead in, the alley-oop there. Coming in for the slam dunk, boom! Is B2B / wholesale, bulk orders, people who buy multiple times a year. So we have been doing this unofficially for a couple of years now. We have Airbnb partners. We have people who want to buy a few different mattresses a year, which is not the usual consumer who buys one for their house, maybe two if they're having 2 bedrooms and the kids or whatever, right? So this is a specific type of buyer. But we can work with them to give them like special pricing, and in bulk, and it's easier cash flow. It's less. We don't have to spend as much money on ads, D2C. So, and with Stumptown being Pacific Northwest made, and this like local American made feeling, and this regionalized local aspect to it, Um, Airbnb, but like we have like half a dozen to a dozen groups or partners that have bought from us consistently to like outfit their new Airbnbs. So it's like they have a cabin or a house like nearby
Right.
in the wilderness, like in the countryside or like not by the mountains, the cabins, right? Like it fits in with that look and feeling, and it's like, oh, it's locally made, it's nearby, like the whole vibe is right. So that channel I think has high potential. It is like low in air quotes, low lift, higher outcome potential as well. And I'm thinking very similarly to email on this, of 50K to 100K a year.
Yep.
Like that's 50 mattresses to 100 mattresses. Obviously, maybe it's twice that or 1.5 times that because of the discount plus the volume, whatever. But that's much easier for us because those are potentially repeat buyers. They're buying multiple at once, so that helps us with cash flow, and it's really not that much of a constraint for our inventory because we have such a short lead time and a quick turnaround of under 2 weeks. So I think there's a lot of potential here, but we're really viewing 2023 as like a test. Is like, okay, let's give it a basic go. Like, don't spend a ton of time on it. A couple hours a week or a month on it, right? And just try to officialize the previous partnerships that we have, and then look if there's any other people that they know that might be interested, like other Airbnb owners, right? And just
Right.
focus on that and see how much of like the lemon we can squeeze out of that yet. So if we get email and B2B like 5%, like that's absolutely incredible. Like that's
Absolutely incredible.
absolutely incredible, and like it'll be really helpful. So that's a digital sales channel. That's not like we're not looking to build. I don't need to hire a salesperson for that or an outreach person or like
Mm-hmm.
build out this whole program for it yet. It's starting simple, starting small, and seeing if it works.
Yeah, I don't know if it would work for you guys, but did we talk about fair on the podcast already?
Not for us, no.
We didn't talk about fair.
Not
Okay,
for
you can
some
talk
time.
about.
You think you mentioned it for Birdie?
Yeah, try. I don't know if I I I would just try fair. I would just try fair.
Just try fair.
I would
Wow,
just try
really
fair. I would just try
good
fair.
good
Do I need to
insight.
unpack that or no?
No, no, try fair.
Try fair.
Yeah, I wonder if there's fair or any other marketplaces.
I saw this one. It's
Um,
called Bulletin. I don't, but I don't know. Maybe another idea is, you know how our favorite podcast host Sam Parr was into like Airbnbs earlier
yeah,
in the year.
yeah,
Um, there are Facebook groups with thousands of like Airbnb owners.
right.
So I wonder if there's a way where you could basically say, "Hey, we'll give you, the Airbnb deal." You know what I mean? And then if you could say, "Hey, like this house comes with like Stumptown mattresses or something," I don't know how they would be able to do that, but there's that might be like an interesting way to see if you could scale. Like, a lot of times those groups have like non-solicitation policies, but if you could partner with like the mod of or the admin of a group,
Exactly.
you just be like, yo, we'll cut you like a 10% check, and 10% of 500 is not insignificant. It's not like $5,
Yep.
whatever. It's like actual real money. Like you go to McDonald's like quite a few times with that money. You know what I mean? um, so
Yeah. Yep.
so it might
McDonald's
be worth
money.
it.
It's
Exactly.
not mailbox money. It's McDonald's money, baby.
You can
Uh,
get chicken tender, chicken nuggets, filet of fish, quarter pounder, fries, drink.
like
You know,
like
I
4 or 5 times. Yeah.
don't know.
Okay. Well, besides the McDonald's comment, I think there's pretty smart, pretty valid, like some good
Always
idea there.
Just always make it in terms of how many chicken nuggets can you get.
No, I understand. Uh,
Colleges, hotels. Yeah. I think
so
though,
that
like the B&Bs, like the actual B&B, the bed and breakfast, like those hotels with like freaking like 8 rooms. You know what I mean?
the
I feel like that
small,
might be
yeah,
like the sweet spot. You know what I mean? I feel like it might be hard to sell to
exactly.
like a hotel that has like 200 rooms. You know what I mean? And like twin beds, queen beds, and king beds. But I feel like if you just like get like a little hostel, I don't even know what they call them, like hostel or like the bed and breakfast.
Little cottages almost like this
Exactly, like on the side of the damn
the little
road.
inns. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the little inns on the road that might be kind of haunted. You don't know if they're haunted or not. And they got the old ass ladies serving you like a nice breakfast or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
those are like be pretty cool.
I think so. So I think that's kind of the only new sales channel I'm planning on like implementing. Like this is happening. This is not a maybe. This is we're gonna do it. The only last one we'll talk about, and kind of start wrapping up, is Amazon. We talked to your boy, soon to be my boy, Mark.
Oh, the
So
boy.
yeah, Mark with Tide Co. is his agency. He's
Shout out
helped
Mark.
Birdie out. Shout out Mark. He's helped Birdie a lot with their Amazon, and a lot of other brands. A small team, they're great. So since we have a big product and we have low lead times and it's local, we don't have to do FBA, fulfilled by
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, and like ship them our mattresses. We have a warehouse now that's separate from the retail store, like where we ship out orders from.
Mm-hmm.
So we could just do fulfill by merchant. It would not cost as much as FBA, and we ship within the same day or the next day anyway.
Right.
Standard. So it's not like we have to change and do this crazy like operations overhaul. There's like a couple extra steps to like, it's like there's this price or this like these products are on Amazon, the barcode and like different stuff like that. But it's that's a potential interesting extra sales channel, not a distribution channel, but a sales channel
Mm-hmm.
that is relatively low lift to get started, but could have a high impact. We have a good price point. We have that like a unique aspect to it with like locally made in the USA, like local to Portland. Some people are just Amazon buyers. That's just where they
Yep.
buy. We're maybe missing out on those. So if we sell a couple a month on Amazon and it took, a couple hours to set up one time and it takes 1 hour a month to maintain or something, just organically let that happen and slowly scale it up maybe. So that's just the only other thing we're considering and trying to figure out with him if it would make sense to do right away or something to add on later. So
Yeah, it seems like it's a lot of small bets that have uh, what's the I don't know, I forgot the term. I'm freaking tired. um um the upside is just so high and the downside is so low,
yep,
right? Like
yeah,
you get any one of these channels to unlock, like you hit your $1-2 million goal. You know what I mean? So
exactly. And that's like we know Facebook's working at the scale that it's at, and we have some wiggle room to improve it. Google still has plenty of room to improve it, and more
email, you're
scale and
not really
budget.
doing anything.
Literally zero at email right now. So yeah, I think with the fundamentals in place, with really just focusing on consistency and not getting too shiny object syndrome which for me is really tough, but we should be able to hit these goals. The last thing I will say, and I'm considering small tests of it, is like $1,000 a month on digital audio with decibel ads because of the retail store and the website, and it's so localized to Portland, and we can layer in market for new mattress targeting.
Hey, full disclosure, I'm an investor, so. Did you know that?
Actually? No, I didn't know that.
Actually.
Actual real disclosure.
Actual real disclosure. We don't want to be one of those people on Twitter who's like, "Hey, try this piece of shit software."
Where?
Why are you
Definitely not paid. Definitely not paid.
Hashtag not paid.
Hashtag not paid. Hashtag actually investor. That's great. Yeah. Absolutely incredible that you're.
I encourage you to try it.
Yes. So that's something. It's like it's essentially Facebook ads for digital audio, and since it's so localized, and we have a retail store, and it's made from Portland, it's like incremental channel to literally just take the budget from Facebook for a quarter, like $1,000 of the budget. So it's not like much. Make an audio ad. We've been running an NPR ad for years, like statically, so we can just kind of do it a little more, digitally and across the channels, and just see what the lift is like. If we have customer surveys or feedback from the retail employees, all that sort of stuff. So that's the last one I'm considering testing. So.
Yeah, next year around this time, what we'll do is we'll have a recap episode of how it went.
Yes, and we'll see how horribly wrong I am in some of these and how incredibly right or beyond right we were in some of the other ones. And then think about how that might change for 2024.
My guess is you'll probably get between 2 and 3 of revenue next year.
Actually? Okay.
Actually an investor, actually a prediction.
Okay, to clarify, Richie's an investor in decibel ads, not Stumptown. Okay, he's just saying prediction for Stump. Okay, I'm saying 1.75.
1.75.
Yeah, okay. within the profitability target.
Within the okay.
So that I think that's a realistic, reasonable. It's kind of a stretch, but not so insane I'll get stressed out about it. But I think we should be able to get there if I'm as good as my job as I think I am, and be able to do the base. If I can do the basics on all of these channels. So that's it. You heard it here. That's our predictions. That's the recap. That's how I thought through this. Thanks for your insight and incredible help, Richie, for being a sounding board. And we'll check in next year and have a recap episode. Do it again for 2024. So, any last words?
Sounds good. Counting down to Black Friday.
Sounds good. Counting down to Black Friday. Get on the Shopify live view. Get that tab open and watch the orders come in.
Yep.
That's it. That's all. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode. Appreciate it. Peace. That's it for today. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. I love being able to do this and meet with people that are smart and enthusiastic and just want to share what they have to know about all things D2C. Every rating and review and episode you share with a friend means a ton to me as I continue to bootstrap this show as part of my small little media brand, High Key Geek. If you haven't checked out my other show, Ecommerce Uncovered, you should. It's a little more tactical and practical, and I've guest experts on to learn from freelancers, agency owners, in-house marketers, and founders, all in an effort to help you continue to bootstrap your D2C brand profitably. 2 episodes a week will have you staying up to date on the ever-changing industry and learning fundamental concepts and tactics for you to apply to your own brand. That's Ecommerce Uncovered on the High Key Geek YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple, or anywhere else you find your podcasts. Catch you next time.